knew when I got the call to do this movie that Sonic was a game. I think I had played it once or twice, and after I got the call, I started playing it with my grandson, who humiliated me constantly. And the really fun part was I got to see how smart he was, how clued in he was, and these games have turned kids into jet pilots. I mean, they're quick, and their reflexes are awesome. And he likes to trash talk a lot. He's 9 years old, and he trash talks me. I get angry, I put money in the swear jar, and I'm actually a lot like Robotnik when we play. I think that Sonic represents the power of innocence, the power of play, the electricity in a pure soul who just is doing his life because there is fun to be had, and that's my philosophy about life in the first place. You have to find something to do in life that not only serves people, but serves you in your heart, makes you feel like a child, makes you go, I get to wake up every day and do what I love. And that's the dream for everybody, The wonderful thing about Robotnik is he is analogous to a lot of the insane ego that's running us, in all different kinds of realms of life. The greed, the avarice, the self-centeredness, the self-dealing, the lack of a conscience, that we see in a lot of different realms. Robotnik signifies that. He is a madman with a triple-digit IQ. And, like a lot of those good folks, those clever genius types in Silicon Valley, that's not a microchip on his shoulder. That's a quantum database of bitterness. And he hates society because he wasn't nurtured, he wasn't loved. And this is what happens to a genius like that when they have no nurturing, no love, no guidance. And that's what he's become, the epitome of that. He hates the world because the world abandoned him. And I see him as somebody who wants to be the warden of a mechanized prison that captures the consciousness of the world. And Sonic is a power that he needs, because if you control the power grid, you control the world. He's a wonderful character to play. And of course, he's a 300 IQ, so it took me a week and a half to prepare. It's just wonderful. And all it really comes down to is he wants to be special to somebody, only it's gone megalomania for him. He wants to be special to everyone. In fact, he wants to be the king of everyone. And, another thing he really, really wants is to be able to get a latte the way he wants it, with Austrian goat's milk. Robotnik is a little tiny piece of nothing in his own mind, and he's blown himself into gargantuan proportions. He is as smart as heck, he is the smartest one in the room. But there's smart, and then there's spiritually dumb, And I'm sure you could take a lot of the smartest people and put them in a room, and when it comes to life, they can't carry water, and that's kind of it. He lives through his invention. He wants to capture the world and the world's consciousness and control humanity with his machines. And of course, we're not dealing with any of that, are we? So I think I'm kind of right in the zeitgeist with this character. I just dealt with him as an ego out of control, as somebody who believes themselves completely separate from the rest of the world, and so he must conquer those who betrayed him. Everybody becomes his mother and father, and he's the Eggman. Am I allowed to say that? He's the Eggman, and I'm the Walrus, so I think it's pretty perfect for me. It's wonderful to be able to physicalize that evil, that self-centeredness, that constantly acting as if there's a spotlight on you, and everybody's really interested in what you have to say. And if they're not, they must be banished. I think that it became a physical dance, and that's why we had that kind of weird dance sequence in it. It's very edgy. And the music, Evil Grows, was something I heard when I was a child, and I said to Jeff, what about that song, Evil Grows? You know, evil grows in cracks and holes and lives in people's minds. You know, evil grows in the dark. And it's kind of a cool song that I grew up with, but I didn't know if it was big in America or anything like that. And they all knew the song. I guess it was a hit everywhere. And they said, oh, we'll throw that on, see what happens. And it was perfect. It was just the perfect thing for Robotnik. And at the same time, we found out, shooting in Vancouver, that it was a Vancouver band that had written and recorded the song. And so it was just really cool kismet, you know? We brought that back from the Netherlands. I'm just having so much fun, honest to God. It's a great, fun part to do. And you get in the gizmos and the gadgets and stuff and fly around in that ship, and they've got that on a crane, and they're manipulating it and stuff, and you're just kind of got to imagine the whole thing. It's a real blast. I really liked it, really enjoyed it. They were a great bunch, wonderful, creative group of people, and everybody was open. And, you know, I make tons of mistakes, so I don't have any problem with people making mistakes, and I do think it's a collective thing, and the more fun you generate on that set, the more fun comes through the camera and arrests the people who are watching. So to me, a movie like this is silly fun, you know. There are themes in it that are kind of interesting and serious in a way, but, you know, James Marsden, not only a good-looking guy, just a good guy down deep, real good guy, creative, open, and Tika Sumpter was just lovely and willing to jump into anything, and she was fantastic to be with. And Ben Schwartz is just a funny guy, really creative, and so having him be the voice is really a catch, really a catch.